Hello, I'm delighted to introduce to you the latest innovation from CooperVision, the Biofinity Toric Multifocal contact lens. The population is aging, and 1/3 of toric lens wearers are at the age of developing presbyopia. They want to continue wearing contact lenses, but all their options, such as reading glasses or monovision, come with compromise. And we also know that dropout increases significantly with presbyopia. That's why we created a new lens for astigmatic presbyopes. This lens is the latest addition to the Biofinity family and continues the brand's ambition to never stop innovating. Biofinity Toric Multifocal now means there is a Biofinity option to suit all correction types. We have combined the proven optical designs and trusted technologies of Biofinity Toric and Biofinity Multifocal contact lenses. Optimized toric lens geometry, balanced progressive technology, and our unique Aquaform technology for a third-generation silicon hydrogel material. Let's dive in a little deeper. Found throughout every Biofinity lens is Aquaform technology, which locks in water molecules for long-lasting comfort. Aquaform technology helps the lens provide the hydration, breathability, and softness to help maintain healthy lens wear. Now let's discover this unique lens design. We use our optimized toric lens geometry to provide excellent stability, predictable orientation, and consistent vision performance. Our multifocal balanced progressive technology is added to the front surface of the lens. This provides exceptional vision at all distances, near, intermediate, and far, with a lens design optimized for each sphere and add power. So we have combined these proven optical designs and trusted technologies into one lens for your astigmatic presbyopes. The fitting process is efficient and effective. Our clinical evaluation has shown a 93% success rate on initial fitting, and our OptiExpert app will guide you through the fitting process. We want to help you give the benefits of Biofinity Toric Multifocal to as many of your patients as possible, which is why we have over 200,000 custom prescription options for you to choose from. So, make the right choice. Offer Biofinity Toric Multifocal to all of your astigmatic presbyopes today. Now let me introduce our panel of international experts who will tell us more about this amazing contact lens. Firstly, I'd like to welcome Professor José González Meome. Professor González Meome qualified as an optometrist in 1997 in Spain and was awarded his PhD in Portugal 10 years later. He is currently a full professor of optometry and vision science at the University of Minho, Braga, Portugal, director of the physics department and director of the PhD program in optometry and vision science. He has written 173 papers published in scientific journals, over 20 book chapters, and has delivered more than 130 invited lectures at international scientific meetings. He holds many awards and is currently editor-in-chief for Journal of Optometry, Spain.
Hi, Phil.
Dr. Catherine Père. Dr. Catherine Père is a French ophthalmologist who practices in Point Vision, Paris. She started work in hospital practice and was part-time head of ophthalmology at Nanterre Hospital, France. She is also past president of the French Society of Ophthalmologist Contact Lens Fitters. Dr. Père teaches university degree students about contact lenses and specializes in presbyopia contact lens fitting in her private practice. She has presented at conferences and published her work in trade journals.
Hello, Phil.
Mr. Hans-Peter Platten. Hans-Peter Platten qualified as an optometrist in 1990. He is based in Castellón, Germany, and owns 4 optical stores. Together with his team, he specializes in contact lenses. He is a highly respected and well-known lecturer, speaking on a wide range of topics. He is also heavily involved with the eye charity Kids and Poor Eyes International.
Hi.
Professor Giancarlo Montani. Giancarlo Montani is Professor of Clinical Contact Lens Application at the University of Salento, Italy. Involved in optometry education since 1988, he was department head of the contact lens division at the Santa Chiara University Medical Center in Pisa, Italy, till 2004. In 2007, Professor Giancarlo Montani co-founded the Center for Contact Lens Research at the University of Salento. Giancarlo Montani also works in private practice. He has published numerous articles in optometric journals and has been invited as lecturer to several national and international optometry congresses.
Hello, Phil, and thank you to invite me to share my experience with the Biofinity Toric Multifocal.
You're welcome. Mr. Chris Wersman. Chris Wersman qualified as an optometrist at the age of 20 in 1983, becoming the youngest ever registered optometrist in the UK. He is currently the senior optometrist at one of the largest contact lens practices in the UK called Viewpoint. He is passionate about contact lens fitting and is a specialty contact lens practitioner. He has trialled many new product introductions over the years and is a regular invited guest on round table discussions.
Hello, Phil. Thanks for having me along.
You're welcome. So, without further ado, let's get on to the questions. Why is it important to have a lens like Biofinity Toric Multifocal in your practice? Professor Montani.
To have a lens as Biofinity Toric Multifocal is very important for my practice. I have several astigmatic patients using toric contact lenses and I'm approaching the presbyopia condition. And I would like to give them the possibility to wear contact lenses and to obtain a very excellent visual performance for far and near.
Dr. Père.
With higher levels of astigmatism, it's really necessary to correct the cylinder power. And in that case, the stability of the lens has a significant effect on the visual outcome. The stabilization system of Biofinity Toric are recognized as being particularly effective and result in high quality and stable vision through the day. The Biofinity Multifocal gives many possibilities for multifocal correction thanks to center distance or near design, 4 additions, and customized optical zone depending on the ametropia and the degree of presbyopia. Now, the combination of these 2 optical technologies make it possible to obtain a quality of vision in astigmatic presbyopes, which was previously difficult to achieve.
Thank you. Mr. Wersman.
Well, 85% of our patients actually wear contact lenses. An awful lot of them wear toric lenses, and they're approaching presbyopia, so the option of offering them a multifocal toric lens is ideal.
Thank you. So, question 2. What are the key things you look for in a toric multifocal contact lens? Professor Gonzalez-Meome.
Well, the key things are the ease of fit and, of course, rotational stability for the toric prescription, and at the same time, predictability in the near, intermediate, and distance vision for the presbyopic patient.
Thank you. Mr. Wersman.
The main thing is ease of fit, how little chair time we can use. And then the lens has to work, they have to be able to see through it, and it has to be comfortable.
Dr. Père?
What I am particularly look for with a toric multifocal lens is the stability of the cylindrical correction. It is the key to achieving excellent vision, especially for distance vision, which is usually the main problem to presbyopic astigmat patients we try to fit.
Thank you. So, who will you be recommending this lens to? Chris Wersman.
Well, we have a lot of people who already wear Biofinity Torics. So when they get to the point of needing a multifocal lens, it's an obvious option for them. Equally speaking, we have people in other makes of toric lenses who are going to need a multifocal. And similarly, we have quite a few people who they just really need a toric. They're about a 0.75 SIL, and they're coping just with a spherical multifocal would be so much better with a toric multifocal lens.
Okay, Professor Montani?
My first indication for this kind of lens is to astigmatic patient using toric lenses and approaching the presbyopia condition. But my favorite patient too are astigmatic patient in dropout because they have not found with the previous solution a good visual result.
Dr. Père?
I systematically recommend this lens to presbyopic astigmat with a cylinder power of 1.25 dioptry or more, but also to existing patients with lower levels of astigmatism who are wearing regular multifocal lenses and are experiencing problems with their distance vision.
Thank you. So, what is it you like about the design of the Biofinity Toric Multifocal contact lens? Professor Montani?
I like the stabilization system of optimized toric lens geometry, and I like the multifocal design too of balanced progressive. From my experience, these designs are very effective to manage the astigmatism and the presbyopia. And having both in the same design is a great thing to manage in the best way the astigmatic presbyopic patient.
Thank you. Mr. Platten?
Yeah, it's very easy. The Biofinity Toric is my first choice in toric lenses, and the Biofinity Multifocal is my first choice in multifocal lenses, and it's the synergy of both. So I like it. It's perfect. It's nothing new. It seems to, it feels like, you are working with it every day.
Thank you. Professor Gonzalez Mayome?
Well, first, I like the concept of a rotationally stable toric platform with a wide optic zone that do not compromise distance vision. And second, the trust we have in the multifocal concept provided by Cooper Vision Biofinity Multifocal.
Now, how do you think Biofinity Toric Multifocal performs on stability and orientation? Mr. Platten?
It performs very good. The stabilization is great. You have no problems with it. It's like we know it from the Biofinity Toric. It's perfect.
Thank you. Professor Montani?
From my experience, Biofinity Toric Multifocal have an excellent stability. I have found the lens very stable and with a very fast recovery orientation.
Thank you. And Professor Gonzalez Mayome?
Okay, with no surprise, Biofinity Multifocal Toric did not surprise me because it combines the best of stability and predictability and performance of the toric platforms of Cooper with the best of the multifocal platform as well.
All right. So how easy is this lens to fit? Mr. Wersman?
Well, it's early days yet, but either I've been very lucky or it's incredibly easy to fit. By following the fitting guide and using the spectral prescription and then ordering up a trial lens, the lens has worked first time without needing any modification.
Professor Gonzalez Mayome?
Well, it is surprisingly easy to fit. We shouldn't expect the surprises we used to have with other toric multifocal lenses, in which the complication of the stability and multifocality could be a surprise. In this case, it is quite straightforward, and the results are very, very predictable as far as I could have experienced so far.
Thank you. Dr. Père?
For a practitioner used to prescribing Biofinity Toric and Biofinity Multifocal, It's very simple to fit this lens. It's just important to obtain an accurate distance refraction as positive as possible and including cylindrical correction. Choosing the first lens is easy by following the fitting guide designed by the experts.
Thank you very much. How easy is it to follow the Biofinity Toric Multifocal fitting guide? Professor Gonzalez Mayome.
Well, the fitting guide is surprisingly simple, so one should expect a more complex process, but in fact, it surprised me how similar it is to the fitting guide of a spherical multifocal lens, so the clinician should not expect more difficulties. It's a very straightforward fitting guide and could use the assistance of the opti expert or other assistance from the fitting guide. That should be very, very, very easy.
Mr. Platten?
I think it's very easy. It's very important to have a up-to-date spectacle prescription and to know which eye is the eye for the dominant in the far and in the near. And with those information, you can fit it.
Thank you. Professor Montani.
Follow the fitting guide is very easy, but it is important to start with an updated prescription to obtain the best results.
Now, how do your patients find their vision quality with Biofinity Toric Multifocal? Professor Gonzalez Mayome.
Well, with the experience I have so far with this lens, the visual quality is surprisingly good in the way that combining a stable, predictable orientation for the toric component and also the classic good performance of Biofinity Multifocal, the result is very good in terms of visual quality for what should we expect from a multifocal solution.
Thank you. Mr. Platten.
So I fitted, I think, more than 30 patients. And in every case, the vision was nice. They had no problems. The near is very good. And they have I think they have a lot of space in the far. Yeah, they all said. So I'm really happy with that.
Thank you. Another question. Biofinity Toric Multifocal is a custom-made lens. How does that fit in with your current practice offering, Chris Wersman?
It's exactly what we need. We have lots of patients with quite extreme prescriptions, and we've not been able to cater for them in the past. We use a lens from a rival manufacturer, which is custom-made, but that's almost too complicated. We get the fitting there in the end, and they generally think that the comfort isn't quite as good as the standard lenses. Now, the beauty of the Biofinity Toric Multifocal is we have the fast power range, sort of plus or minus 10 up to 5 3/4 diopters still, 5-degree axes, and yet the patients are feeling it just as comfortable as a stock lens.
Thank you. Mr. Platten.
I'm a fan of custom-made lenses, yeah, because you can have solutions for your patients that all the others can't bring. And so for me, it's very important, and I like this custom-made lenses because you can do it with the dominant eye. You can do it with the non-dominant eye. You have all the ranges. I think more than 200,000. You can fit, and I like all those lenses where you can make your customers happy and make them happier than the other specialists.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, what do you think about the prescription range? Professor Montani.
Biofinity Toric Multifocal lens has a very wide range of parameters, and this is very useful for me because I feel frustrated when I can't have the right power for my patient. And using Biofinity Toric Multifocal, I think to find the right solution for the majority of my patients.
Professor Gonzalez Mayome.
Well, it is a very wide range for a launch of a new design. and in fact covers most of our toric and multifocal patients, so our presbyopic patients with astigmatism. Even the higher values we used to fit with other kind of lenses like RGP, very specific contact lenses. Now we can approach them with a soft contact lens.
Thank you very much. Is there a case study you would like to briefly share where the lens worked very well? Mr. Wersman.
Yes, we've got one patient who, well, I wouldn't exactly call him a pain, but it's certainly a challenge. He has quite a high still in one eye, but his other eye just has a spherical prescription. We started off with a spherical lens multifocal in one eye, then we had the ProClear multifocal toric in the right eye, and he was happy with comfort, but found the vision just wasn't stable enough with the ProClear lens. So we then switched him on to a different manufacturer's custom-made multifocal toric. It took a few attempts to get it right for him, but we finally got the vision stable, and he's happy with the vision. But then every time he came in, he'd always comment on the fact that that lens wasn't as comfortable as the Biofinity lens in his left eye.
Thank you.
So when Biofinity Toric Multifocal came, he was an immediate person to try the lens with. And we sent him away the lens and worked well at the trial. And then he phoned up literally 3 days later just saying how wonderful it was that he could actually see well with the lens, and it was just as comfortable as the Biofinity Multifocal in his left eye.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Platten?
Yeah, there was one very funny thing. 2 weeks ago, one of my friends from Munich, he was here, and he is one of that guys where you can read the messages on the iPhone from 2 meters, because he has zoom and fat leathers, and he has only 2 words in 1 row. Yeah, and I gave him the Biofinity Toric Multifocal, and I think it was 30 minutes later, he was working on his iPhone. Yeah, he tried to make it smaller. Yeah, because he saw that it is it's really funny that he had so big letters on his iPhone. Yeah, and he's wearing that lens for 2 weeks now, and he's very happy.
Thank you very much. Professor Gonzalez-Meillome?
Yes, indeed. We have a presbyopic patient with 50 years of age at this moment, with 1.75 diopters of AD, with only 1 diopter of sphere and 3.25 diopters of astigmatism. And the lens performed extremely well, either at distance, keeping the same visual quality the patient had at distance, and providing intermediate and near vision without any other assistance.
Thank you very much. Now, how does the vision and comfort performance of Biofinity Toric Multifocal compare to ProClear Multifocal Toric in your experience? Professor Montani.
From my experience, Biofinity Toric Multifocal is more stable than ProClear. And considering the feedback from my patient, the comfort and visual performance is better too.
Thank you. Dr. Peyer?
The ProClear multifocal toric has long been a good solution to correct a presbyopic astigmat. However, the stability of the lens is not perfect, which has often results in a variable distant vision with reduced visual comfort. And the transition from ProClear to Biofinity Toric Multifocal is very simple. The results obtained have been really better thanks to the stability of the cylindrical correction and the comfort on the eye.
Thank you. And Mr. Platten?
I think the Biofinity Toric Multifocal is much more better in the vision, in the comfort. So we, in our practice, I think we don't work with it anymore. I think we bring all the patients to the new Biofinity Toric Multifocal.
Thank you. And thank you all for your insights and feedback on this amazing contact lens. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Phil. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Phil. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Phil.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Phil.
And from all of us here at Cooper Vision, thank you and goodbye.